So, good morning, McAllen. I know that's tomorrow, right? All right. Hi, everyone. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jorge Sanchez. You are at 1 Million Cups. 1 Million Cups is an event that it's put together by the Chamber of Commerce, but it's a national program. Any big city that you go to, there's more than likely that there's one of these meetings happening on Wednesdays at the mornings at 9 a.m. It's a pretty standard program throughout the nation. We have close to 200 other cities that participate in this program. So if you pitch today, your video will be up there in our website, and anyone all over the world can watch it. So actually, we can go here and see their presentation. So you could do the same thing in McAllen. So what's 1 Million Cups? 1 Million Cups is a program to connect the community with entrepreneurs. Sometimes they operate in silos, like all entrepreneurs are here and the community is over there. What we want to do is mix them together and see what we can create out of it. Your goal here today is help the entrepreneurs that will be pitching today. Well, it's not a pitch. It's a story. Yeah, it's not a pitch. But they will present for 6 minutes, and after 6 minutes, they need to tell us what they do and how we can help. So keep that in mind whenever listening the presentations to see how you can help them. If it's meeting with someone, if it's connecting them with someone you know, if it's doing it yourself, have that mentality. So we don't clap, we ring bells. So make sure to have one of those red bells, yeah? Talking about ringing bells, today is Steve's birthday. So ring the bells for Steve. All right, so I think we should be introducing ourselves. So let's pass the mic and quick, like what you do, your name. That's pretty much it.
Hi, I'm David Geralt. I'm one of the founders of the 1 Million Cups group here in McAllen, and I do small and mid-sized business consulting, mainly in the finance area with B2B CFO.
Bells?
Hi, my name is Renee Kepke, and I'm a licensed massage therapist. I specialize in relieving pain and promoting relaxation through massage therapy and CBD products. I'm located at Dubai Salon and Skincare on 10th Street in McAllen, and I'm big on community events. That's why I'm here today. I'll be at Wine, Women, and Wealth tomorrow. Most recently, I participated in the Poor Vida Health and Food Festival. In addition, I proudly participate in monthly events with the Canis Social Club, providing massage to members. I also work for A Touch of Luck at Texas Card House in Edinburgh, providing chair massages. If you'd like more information, please let me know.
Hi, my name is Pedro Yervides. I work with Mass Mutual South Texas. I practice, I help people get into life insurance, disability insurance, long-term care, and all kinds of financial products under the Mass Mutual branch. And if you don't like Mass Mutual, I can also broker with other companies.
Hello, my name is Matt Bohr, and my other half is not with me, but she received a grant a year ago or so for salsa, and right now there's a producer up in San Antonio that's preparing the first units, let's say, to our specs, and then HEB has promised to, if they get an exclusive, they'll be putting it in all the stores. And it's just a matter of some kind of timing here that we're still negotiating.
Do you have a timeline, more or less?
That's what I'm trying to get my wife to get on about. It's almost causing a divorce because she thinks I'm too hard-headed, or I just push.
Hello, my name is Cynthia. I work for Elite Employment Services. So what I basically do is help people find a job.
Hi, my name is Jorge Valles. I work for Valles Webmaster. Basically, I can bring your business to the internet. So if you need any help, just let me know.
Hi, my name is Tanya. So this is my first meeting with you guys, so hello. I just started my business coaching for business. So my background has been construction and real estate, and so I do really well in streamlining processes and implementing software programs, also looking at policies and procedures. My background is in operations and accounting, so I can do taxes, but I do not like to prepare them, but I will review them for you. I will help you set up your books and do everything of that nature to make sure that you are getting not paying taxes, but finding a way to lower your taxes that you have to pay. We're not in the business of, exactly, thank you. So, and I also do some real estate on the side as well.
Yes, so we're top of the town right now because we're in tax season. I'm Christopher. We are in a tax payroll bookkeeping service industry. We work with auditors. We've resolved more than $321,000 of audit cases as of this year. So if you're tired of doing your tax, payroll, and bookkeeping, we are here to file and close your taxes on time. And just a reminder, for partnership and S corporation, the deadline would be March 16. Okay, so let's connect. Thank you.
My name is Enrique. I'm with Five Rings Financial. We're a financial services company. We're like a Merrill Lynch, we're Jones, except we're known for our Money 101 classes. We identified that our culture, especially the Hispanic culture, we're about 90 years behind when it comes to finances. So what we do is we put on classes free of charge, and we teach people the basics with taking all the financial jargon out of it and just teach people what they should have taught us in high school. We're gonna have our next class on the 23rd, on Monday. He was asking me, is that for free? Yes, it is for free. It's not a grab or anything. Nobody's gonna come pop out of the car behind the wall and drag you into anything. It's just teaching pretty much. That's what we do.
Hi, my name is Clarissa Villanueva. I'm his wife. I'm also with Five Rings Financial. It's our first time here. The only difference is that I do wine, women, and wealth. Unfortunately, guys, it's only for women. It's not for men. It's a little bit, my event is a little bit of networking, a little bit of wine tasting, and more than anything, empowering women. So I do touch a little bit of education, but it's more empowering women, one another, to get your business out there. And like yourself, that you said you want to get yourself out there, that's my event. That's what it is for. Like she mentioned, she's been to the event, so it's very, any woman is welcoming in any types of lives. So if you don't have a business, if you have an occupation, that's no problem. You're still more than welcome to my event. And I'll have my event tomorrow, March the 12th at 6:30. It's gonna be at the Radisson Hotel.
Hi, my name is Lisa Bailly, and I work with Power Energy. What we do is just help people do a report, a savings report on their energy in their homes, and more than anything for them to start owning the energy instead of renting it, at the same time doing away with dirty energy and getting into clean energy. And the government has right now a credit that they're giving. Last year was a 30% credit, this year went down to 26% for anyone that decides to own their energy. Thank you.
Hello, this is our first time here actually too. My name is Erica Nino. I'm an online entrepreneur. I just launched a business online. It's a Christ-centered t-shirt business called Hungry Soul Tees, and I'm about creating multiple streams of income online, and that's what I do.
Oh. Okay.
Good morning. My name is Ismael De Leon with Alpha and Omega Clean Services. We do industrial, federal, state, government, and also I like to invent stuff, so patent stuff, and that's what I do for life. Thank you.
Good morning. My name is Tina Ziegler. A lot of you know me. One of my purposes is to create multiple streams of income online like that, to create opportunity to have a business online that's also like local as well as global. And I also have a meeting tomorrow, like an overview tomorrow, but I have several others. So if anybody's interested, I can show you that. I'm also very passionate about the community. I'm an ambassador of the McAllen Chamber, and I really encourage everybody to be part of the chamber. That way you can network, you can learn what other people do, and you can help support the community and buy local. That's one of the things. And then there's also Toastmaster, Metro Toastmaster at the McAllen Chamber, Mondays from 12 to 1, so just come by, visit us. And Rotary today at the Red Cross, 6 to 7 o'clock. So I have all these events going on. So.
All right, so just before we get started, how many of you are new here? Oh, okay. Wow. How did you find out about the event? Facebook? Okay, cool. Oh, Michael shared it? Cool. I need to invite him to lunch. All right, so with that said, let's get started with our first presentation. Our first presentation is Arte Chilango. He's importing of Mexican handmade arts and crafts for retail and wholesale. Please join me in welcoming Luis Muñoz.
Good morning, thank you for coming. As he said, we're looking to paint the world full of color by importing and selling retail and wholesale Mexican handmade arts and crafts. About 3 years ago, I came from the mortgage and banking industry for 20 years. My wife went up to me and she said, you know what? I use these bags all the time, I've had them for years, we should sell them. So I pretended she didn't say anything and went on my way. So about 7 hours later, I'm like, And I work better at night, so everybody was asleep by then. So I started drawing some numbers and stuff like that. Got all excited and said, wait a minute, there's something here. And then, very quickly after I got excited about these big numbers, I realized that I didn't factor in all the expenses. But even when I did that, there was still big numbers. But there was the one big thing was that this artistry has been around for hundreds of years. And I wasn't bold enough to think that in hundreds of years, I was the very first one to have the idea of importing arts and crafts to sell retail and wholesale in the United States and abroad. So the first thing I got to do is to figure out why there wasn't anybody doing it at a scale bigger than a mom and pop. So that began a huge, almost 12-month process of writing down problems, issues, opening one can of worms with another and another and another, until we finally started getting some traction. And although there is many products out there, we started with a supermarket bag. But when people see this bag, they think, in the case of the Valley, they think of Progreso, the Progreso bag. And there is the connotation about the Progreso bag is that, one, it's a poor man's business because you don't see anybody in Lamborghini selling Progreso bags. You see a different community selling the bags. And there isn't a sense of quality either because they're the Progreso bags. So how do you get from here to a point where you have a product that has the perception of quality? And I say the perception is because this has quality. It's just not perceived to have it. So after a lot of research, we went from this bag, we went to this bag, and then eventually we actually just now received the prototype, which is this bag right here. The only main difference between this is this is nylon, polyester thread, so the stitchings are much better quality and they look better. But the bottom line of it is that supply chain was the biggest issue. How do you get a product from the rural areas of Mexico into a city where you can ship it at the very least to the border and then get it across? But it wasn't just that. It was the fact that these artisans produce, through family operations, and they can only produce so much. Not only that, they're used to producing for the local markets, the tourists, and what have you. So there's no scale, and there's no culture of exporting either. There's no let me mail you a check. There's no let me wire you some money. There's no give me an international invoice, and I can go on and on and on and on. So how do we get all that resolved? And it's been resolving, getting itself resolved as time has gone by. In the application process for presenting here, one of the questions that they asked was, what is the burning need, or what are two things that you're looking for in this presentation? And that is basically, why hasn't it worked? And if it can work, can I make it work? So I have 2 years of doing research and improving things one little bit at a time, but nobody can do anything alone. So I'm here looking for advice and support and anything that you can share. All right, thank you.
Stay there. Now it's our chance to ask questions or try to make connections.
So Luis, talk about how you're doing shipping now. So what's your current system that you're using as far as bringing it in from Mexico and then coming to the border? And just explain to everybody how you're doing it right now.
Well, when we first started, I was living in San Francisco, California, in a San Francisco Bay Area economy, which you can imagine is very, very different than the Valley. So I was doing formal import into San Francisco from San Luis Potosi, actually. But even then, one of the things that that needed to happen is that a Mexican company needed to buy my product and then sell it to me in order for me to get an international invoice and be able to formally import in my case. But I moved to the Valley mainly to go to school. I go to UTRGV, and I have a daughter that goes to university as well, 2 smaller kids. But now, because of the expense, I don't have to import in such a scale. So now I bring the merchandise to Reynosa and import it myself through casual import, which has its quirks and challenges as well. There's no most, if not, I don't like to use absolutes, but the great majority of folks that sell the product in country, meaning Mexico, their socioeconomic status is all the way in the bottom. So the perception is that you're getting into a poor man's business and you're selling a product that's only good during Cinco de Mayo, 16 de Septiembre, and Christmas, and Border Fest, and Mexlan, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Other than that, nobody cares about you or the product. But living in San Francisco, in the Bay Area, Berkeley, and all this liberal area, I know there is a market. And not just of Mexicans, but Latinx, your second, third generation Latinos, the generation that remembers grandma from back from Michoacan, from Guanajuato. And also there is your liberal community, or Anglo, or other parts that really appreciate the culture a lot more than just going to Cancun, getting a party, and putting your leftover stuff in the bag to bring home. So there is a market, but there's a huge perception war that gets to be overcome, other than the supply chain issues to overcome. And that perception war a lot of times gets into your ability to get angel funding, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Well, one of the things that happens and that is very important is that when you go buy arts and crafts, not just Mexicans, but any arts and crafts, it's made by hand and it's made by somebody. In events, cultural events here in the valley, a lot of times you buy it directly from the artist. But what people don't realize is that difference that purchase makes to the people back home. Your purchase doesn't just support him, but it supports his family, which in turn goes to the store and buys their groceries, which in turn supports other jobs. And it's the same exact cycle that happens in the US and all other developed countries, except in a much smaller scale, but it's just as important. So selling these products, this arts and crafts, is not just about sharing the culture with the world. It's about making a difference in the communities that produce these items. Now he brought up Sapo shoes. What they do is for every shoe that they sell, they give one away. The problem is that in giving the shoes away, they kill the local market of shoes. So the only reason I say that is because we're looking to do this economic sustainability without collateral damage. We do have a small presence at artechilango.net. Right now, we are focusing just on different types of bags online. We are getting ready to upload our earrings, our product lines worth of earrings. Other than that, we're right now just doing cultural events because we need to raise funds. We actually, in moving from California to the Valley, we lost our entire business in the sense that have been in a San Francisco economy. I can go to San Jose and sell 2,000 bags in 2 hours. Well, I can't do that here. So we chose to shift our paradigm from wholesaling the bags to doing. We have a product line of about 42, 43 different products that we sell now as opposed to just the bags. Well, that's just one version of a wholesale channel. I mean, one of the reasons I've been working with these bags, and actually this presentation specifically is for getting into the retail market, the HEVs, the Whole Foods, and actually an industry that we're really, really looking at is your beachgoers and your surfers and what have you, which is predominantly Anglo. Nevertheless, one of the things that most people don't realize, even people that sell them don't realize, is that when they get wet, they get dry incredibly quickly, as opposed to your regular beach bags. If they get wet and you don't dry them, you start getting mold and everything else. If you've been to the island, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So we're looking to break into those areas, and we're working on our packaging as we speak. We're almost done.
put it in a cart and pay for it, right then and there. But you're targeting a specific customer base, which, yes, you might be doing business from here, but you're also selling it in other parts of the U.S. That's something you might want to consider.
Actually, throughout our very, very generous history, we've sold in limited quantities to about 11 countries. And we've sold in about 34 states now to different. Right now, since we walked away from wholesale in California, right now we're selling about 100. So it's now a much smaller part of our business, and we've chosen to have it that way because we've been working on going out into the open market, into true wholesale, which again is your HEBs, your Whole Foods, your more green-oriented, eco-oriented stores. No, no, it sounds like a great idea. We're almost done with developing the packaging. We're trying to figure out how to get this folded and keep it folded without having to design a cardboard sleeve. So now we're gonna use a rubber band and we're gonna put in place a sticker tag with made in Mexico and the marketing and what have you, and that's how we're gonna ship it out. But the other thing we're in the process of doing is vetting the quality control for this not this producer. And once we have that, then yes, absolutely, we are open to that and any other ideas. So, no, 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 actually. Oh. Yeah, no, absolutely. I'd love to spend a couple of minutes with you on that. No, actually, right now, bags are a very, very small part of our product line. We have about 42, 45 different products, ceramics, in wood, in different leather, smalls, and part of on different leather products and what have you. We're starting to dip our toe into textile, not clothing. That's an area where I, for now, choose not to go into. But chalice and we are breaking into that, and we actually did very well at Borderfest with a small line of chalice that we brought from Michoacan. Yes, I actually met with the postmaster at another McAllen event last week, I think it was. So we can start getting all our shipping needs addressed and learn what we need to learn in order to get that um that in place. Our next product to go online to be, you know, is our earrings. So we just got our box. We just got our envelopes. Um, we got all the pictures, everything, everything that we need to actually put it up online. It's already all set. It'll most likely start going online this weekend. Yeah, there's a lot of potential for a lot of things. It's a little bit of a balance struggle with 45-year-old college student with 3 kids and a startup and a wife with her career, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, that is definitely another avenue, like the suggestion she made and what have you. Anybody else have any questions? Well, two things. When I was mentioning, I was talking about wholesale. The example, like for example, as simple as it sounds to go to the San Jose flea market. The San Jose flea market, they will sell $1 million in one day. It is that size of a place, and it's not. You if you compare the socioeconomic status of the folks that go to the Alamo flea market and the folks that go to San Jose, I mean, you run the gamut from $300,000 software engineers to your entry level cook. So the amount of product that goes through a place like that is humongous, where I can literally sell a couple of thousand bags in an hour. And that doesn't exist here. Share and believe in the value.
Let me give you this token of appreciation. Thank you very much for stepping up and presenting with us. Hopefully, someone connects with you or someone started getting that wheel going. All right, so this is the time where you restock of donuts and coffee. I won't be mad if you stand up and go to a restroom or take a break. Meanwhile, we do that. We always do a trivia question. So, actually, looking at the calendar, tomorrow is National Girl Scout Day. And my question here is, how much does Girl Scouts generate of cookie sales a year? Feel free to walk around. No. No. The entire. Yeah, the entire program. 2 billion? No. I don't know. I don't know if it was mentioned there. Any guesses? 500 million? 300? I don't know. I'm just asking. No, yeah, I was just curious. No, the answer is 800 million, and the closer we got is probably Jorge over here. So congratulations, 800 million. Boy Scouts, they generate like 80 million. So Girl Scouts are like all over the place. Okay, I saw a couple of people like kind of standing up, so feel free to restock before we start. 5 minute break. 2 minute break. Yeah, no, no. I mean, you can give it. You can. You'll have two versions. The old. Oh, that's true.
Remodel. Past the mall. You've heard of it before? Wine, women, and clothes? This would be the third one. I mean, it goes on all over the country, but as far as the valley, this would be the third one.
Yeah. This. I don't know if it's because it's hard to get here. Good, and you, Matt?
Can't complain.
Oh, good to see you. Good to see you.
Yeah, getting live again and got my little water harvesting
Oh, really?
operation. And
I think I
setting
saw.
up a lab, you know,
Okay.
because I just, a couple of months ago, some college, was starting to try that.
Okay.
But their package to get 2 quarts,
Oh.
it consists of, a couple of big, huge 300-watt solar panels, okay? Mine uses like 6 watts, and it's not 400 pounds. And they're starting to use this recycling method.
Yeah, I actually read an article about that.
And I found a company that actually will make that nanotech material for me.
Oh.
See, I was prepared to, and I got my chemistry professor from back in Phoenix, and we were going to work together again. And I found somebody that I can get them to do it for me.
That's cool.
Instead of going back and maybe hurting myself.
Yeah, exactly. And trying to launch it yourself. That's good. That's good. Cool. Cool, man. All right, so let's get back to our seats. Let's get this started again. And the trick that I like is 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Okay. Okay. That's it. Cut it. That's it. Yeah. All right. Tina. 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 Cats? All right. So let's go with our second entrepreneur. Now we will have Science Medical Massage Therapy. They aim to be at the forefront of the latest science-based protocols to deliver the highest quality of manual therapy for clients seeking relief for chronic pain. Please join me in welcoming Jorge Cruz.
Thank you. I'd also like to add it's a veteran-owned business, so I was able to take advantage of some tax benefits. It's a new chapter that was given out for like 4 years. You don't have to pay taxes for the business, so thank you, Uncle Sam. Yeah, but another thing too is I have to thank him for my back pain. That's when it all started, and I guess Science Medical Massage Therapy was a creation because I was trying to help heal myself. I went to PT, I went to Kairos, I didn't go. I take that back. I thought about it, but just from the clients' experience that have come to see me for treatment, I kind of turned away from that. But so physical therapy I tried, didn't really give me too much relief. And that was after multiple attempts of getting relief through massage therapy. And when I first started out, that was the first thing that I heard from people is it has to hurt to feel better, and it wasn't getting any better, and it was one of those things where I just kind of gave up on giving the power over to another therapist to be able to help me get relief from my back. So I sought out the leading therapist in the country. So far, I've been to California, Florida twice. I even train with people from Toronto that basically facilitate physical therapy, manual therapy for like sports teams. So being at the forefront, it's almost, you have to go in as if you're trying to learn everything from scratch. So be willing to put everything aside so that you can be able to just take what you've learned so far and just kind of gut it out to where you're just getting bare bones and then moving forward with what you felt was justifiable to like the next phase of growth. Because when I first started, it was just all about understanding the levels of pressure need to change if it's for therapeutic, and execute flow and have an ability to ask a few questions and make the client comfortable. And it's, to sum it all up, for me, in my opinion, the expertise that I've gotten so far comes down to placebo effect. Anybody can feel better. Even if you go to your grandma to get a little back rub, you're gonna feel better. And so if you go to PT and they have you doing these exercises that are completely out of your range of motion, then ultimately you're not gonna achieve those ranges that you're trying to get to be able to move pain-free. So now that I'm understanding how the science works behind it, it's a lot of intrinsic muscles that need to be engaged. So intrinsic muscles, people ask, like, how does that? It's like the intrinsic motivation for you to wake up in the morning. Like, you have to create that urge within yourself to get to clothing yourself, putting on your makeup, getting your hair done. Those are the intrinsic motivators that not everybody has. They don't really take pride in a lot of things. So, for instance, today, like, me getting here was just like, oh man, like, I don't have my keys. I left them in my roommate's car. What do I have to do to get here? I got a lift. So what? I made it here. I was able to get that motivation to come here to make a presentation so that I can help people see that you have a worthwhile presentation, and what he's trying to do to put out bags to what I'm trying to do to help people create change with their lives. Like, pain is not something people need to be living with. And sadly, for the majority of people that go get treatment, you have to push past the pain to get the outcome. And I'm here to say you don't have to do that. I've had clients that are trying to convince people to come see me, but they're having to resort to PT or treatments that are covered by the insurance. And there's a way that I'm trying to navigate that for vets to help them right now. But as far as like the general community, I'm not really sure how I can help people understand that the insurance it's not following science. So a lot of things like intrinsic motivators, like if reward system, there's some tests that say, like, if we pay you this much, you'll have less motivation. And if we pay you in the middle line, you'll have just as much motivation as the one that has less pay. But if we pay this person this much, then it's almost like they're like taking a step back, like, oh my God, now I have to perform because they're trying to pay me millions of dollars. So in essence, the reward system for massage therapy is almost kind of in the same category, because the science doesn't allow for people to realize, like, okay, there's a better way. They're following, most businesses now, they're following a structured system where it's profit over the client's benefit. So my purpose is to create change where the person doesn't need to come back for massage for relief. They're coming for massage for the simple fact of feeling better. So when it comes down to understanding how science is, it's neuroplasticity, epigenetics, cellular adaptation, protein synthesis. These are things that if I go to work out, I'm gonna create muscle. If I don't work out, I'm not gonna create muscle. I'm not gonna create change. So neurotetics, it's just like the better you eat, the better quality food you eat, the quicker you heal. So, thank you very much. I have in the past, but I shut it down because the last 4 months I've really been investing myself into kind of going into the next phase of growth to understanding the body to a deeper level. So currently I do have clients. Most of them are house calls, and if if I'm not able to see them at their location, like at their place, then I can also I have affiliate therapist locations that I can work out of. Uh, I'm gonna investigate, like, kind of like, cause I also have clients in San Antonio and Austin I go see. So right now it is feasible, like it does make sense. But I went from having close to 30 clients a week to 10 clients a month. So that's because I wanted to step away from the business of massage therapy and medical massage and focus on a new certification where it's mobility specialist. So now I'm going into somatics and understanding other realms of intrinsic muscles, intrinsic motivation, and kind of coupling all that together. They find me on Google or client testimonials. Um, just diversity, because like one client, she found me, she was very specific. She wanted a neuromuscular therapist. I've had others for they were looking for me for it's segment reflex massage. Another one's for lymphatic massage, um, Creax procedure, muscle energy techniques, muscle activation techniques. So people that know the categories of massage, they'll kind of filter through people that they see that they're not qualified or they're not delivering the results on an effective or efficient level. And you can just tell that by reading the reviews. And from my opinion, that's how people have found me. Like I just got a request from, there's like a company coming in from, I don't know, it's the circus people. I'm not sure what it is. They have a physical therapist that just reached out to me to contract me for the week. That yeah. So people from out of the country find me, or out of the state find me faster than local people. So I'm out there. I know the product, the service, the reviews, the service. Just keyword search. Yes, ma'am. So they have restrictions on that, because it's basically their material that we're using. So it's like haven't really tapped into that way of exposing what it is I do. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, okay, which avenue am I going to take? And then plus I don't really have like the production to create like a video that's going to have that. So because I will say this much. I don't need it at this point in time. That's kind of like later on. Not necessarily at the moment, because I'm doing okay, but it's just a matter of I'm getting better with practice. So right now I don't need that many clients. So I'm in the process of gradual organic growth, and I'm not complaining. My clients are happy. I'm happy. I'm investing in like time management for the business, and this is if I had clients, I wouldn't be here because I would be too busy, and I don't want to be busy right now. Like my busy is just investing in understanding how I can get better, how I can get more people to me. That's. No. No. Yeah, I do eventually plan on opening up a school and having my own method and going through the procedures of getting it patented. So I might have to go to you to learn some more patents, right? The patent strategy. But yeah, that is something in mind for the future. But just right now, I just need clients to understand there's a difference with massage, physical therapy, and the reason behind getting a massage, there's two differences. One, you're healthy, one, you're in pain. One, you just want to feel good. Actually, three. That was three. Mm, I don't really try to do that because I haven't had a good return on investment with that in the past. But now I'm at a different point in my life where I wasn't talking from a place of understanding in the past. Now, the more I understand, the less I understand. Yeah. Yes, sir. No, no, no. I have in the past, but I haven't lately. I haven't resorted to it. It's called the Hitachi Magic Wand. It's not a vibration like a topotomet. It's more of an oscillation. So it's like a true vibration. So there's a difference when you're trying to stimulate the nerve to create like a drop in sensory reception. We have to apply that in a strategic manner, and not just okay, I'm gonna press it here so I can create this change that I want so I can feel better. No, there's like a specific layering process, so you have to understand how to put it and where to put it and for how long and for what depth of pressure. Which layers are you trying to affect? Yeah, I mean, they call it, there's a lot of names to them. Not necessarily, because I wouldn't know what your definition of that is, but it's myofascial release, but I do include it into my treatment protocols. So medical massage consists of 10, and now I'm adding like 4 other ones into like the protocols involve specific sequences. So what I'm trying to do is streamline the sequence to where I'm questioning everything that I'm doing, and I'm kind of experimenting, even though my clients don't know. It's still, the product is still gonna end up at the destination they want, but it may not have to be so long. I'm very efficient, and I try to be more efficient. So I question things by experimenting. It's kind of like taking a detour road. You know what? Let me see if I can see more birds on a tree if I take this route, because I don't want to go down the highway. You know? Guess what? No. Because I haven't gotten the ideal clients that I want. Right. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm looking at, getting enough recognition that my reputation speaks for itself to where eventually I can get that right person to be able to document all that. So I'm kind of backwards. I'm more of a results oriented, and then I'll go back and I'll fix everything. Well, for me at this point in time, it is because I don't have a team. So I don't really have that time to be documenting everything. Because when you start dealing with like millimeters or angles and vectors, it's like the people that are teaching me don't even have this stuff. They don't have the equipment. Oh yeah, I document that. I mean, okay, so I thought you meant like. I was like, man, like that's like a chapter of notes for an individual just on one session. Oh, definitely. That's a given. Yeah. Yes, sir. Anybody that's in pain, that is serious about avoiding surgery or wants to mitigate injury. They're not committed. They'll come a few sessions and they won't come back. Like it's very kind of like it requires a lot of discipline. It's almost like I'm gonna train you to be an elite, whatever age you are, an elite, optimizing your human potential. That's what I like to do for people with these areas, and that's what it's gonna take for some people to really get out of wherever it is that they're at, because it's a slow process. Takes a while. Not yet. Not yet. Hmm. It's very complicated to go up against somebody that is very ingrained in their teachings or in their methods. So I've tried. I'm sorry. Yeah. Mhm. I've gone that route, and I don't know what it is with people. It's like I've two trainers specifically, maybe four. They already have their go-to people that they refer out to, and they're not interested in exposing them to somebody else that might have them not resort back to training for the time being, because you could navigate it in that way where you can still train and get the treatment at the same time. But for them, they think, oh well, he's gonna have them like take rest off, and then those days rest are days that they're not making money. Yes, sir. I would say so. I would say that's one of the variables. Um, but you said education. Mm. Right. On a weekly basis. Right. It's there's a lot of variables involved. So that's one of them. Price point. I did that intentionally over time because I felt like the wrong people were coming with the that price point. Um, Not necessarily, but as I got training, I realized like, okay, well, I'm getting some of these. I'm gonna up it so I won't get certain people that were coming in for the wrong reasons. And then there's certain things that were occurring that I saw that they weren't taking my business seriously or themselves seriously because they weren't taking me seriously. So then I was like, you know what? Maybe it's the price point. So I increased it. And then I sold like 5 treatment packages. And I'm like, wow, there's something behind this. So I increased it again when I had another encounter of, well, this person just blew it off as if it's this. And it's like, okay, well, I got another training that's justifying me to charge for more. So that's been my incentive behind me increasing my prices because I feel like, okay, I'm going to close this business. I'm going to open up a new one at this price point. And whoever wants to come along, just know that I'm not this person anymore. I'm offering this, and I'm way better than who that guy was. So it's a combination. But I would say dedication is a big variable with, oh man, I have so many people that love me, and I have so many people that are like, what are you doing? But the ones that love me is why I continue to do what I do because they see the value is way more than what it is I'm charging for the evaluation, for the treatment sessions, because it's not something that you can readily go and get anywhere. Like I'm having to travel to California, to Florida, to Arizona, and it's essentially my business is a reflection of what I've done for myself. I've spent over $30,000 in the last, what, 2-3 years, just investing in my body to help create the change that's necessary. And right now, I want to say like 6 months ago is when I realized like, man, I got to do something because I'm walking around like this. Like as soon as I would bend from here to here, this angle, it's like a 30-degree angle. It was so much pain, and then it would just like teleport, and then I was pain-free all these angles. And I just couldn't wrap my mind around that until I went to a seminar in California with out of Toronto. Yes.
Have you tried something as simple as asking or even getting a form where it's almost like not necessarily a contract,
not in that specific words, but whenever I do packages, I do.
Yeah, especially with the packages. You
Right.
might try that, just implement it with casually with a couple clients and see how it works out for you. But that's one tip that I've been given, and I thought I'd pass it on.
Yeah.
That if you're dealing with wishy-washy people and trying to get them to commit, you ask them straight out, if you want this result, can you commit to doing these behaviors? And usually, if they're the right fit for you, they'll say yes.
Yeah, well, ultimately, like, the idea is everybody's the right fit for everybody.
Yeah.
You know? And I just want to be plan A.
So, you don't quite want leads right now. You're more in the educational part to develop your own program.
Mhm.
How can we help you on that goal?
Just have people that are contemplating surgery or going to physical therapy or going for massage or doing whatever it is they're doing. They might have an at-home regimen going on YouTube, rolling things out. Just have them know that there's intrinsic factors that need to be applied, and there's a more structured approach that could get you even better results. And it may not even be any of those things that I just listed.
Well, thank you very much.
Here's a little token of appreciation, your second one of the day. Now you have the two versions. That's pretty much it for us, guys. If you would like to connect with other people, the space is open. Thank you very much, everyone, for coming. If you did not sign up, please do so because we'll keep you updated with other events. Thank you very much, guys. See you next time.